This is WCM's Park Update, a weekly show covering the outdoor hospitality industry, hosted by Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. During each episode, you'll hear from special guests and campground experts on topics that will help your park flourish. WCM's Park Update is a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine.
Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground. Oh, 1 second. There we go. It clicked in once. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and this is another edition of WCM's Park Update, which is sponsored by Midwest Electric Products. And of course, my co-host today is John DePietro, who is also the co-host of RVing in New England, which is the show that, it's live every Wednesday. So you guys talk about the RV industry, camping, anything pretty much.
We even talked about you, Ben.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot to talk about. So our guest today is Kimberly Jenkins, the CEO of Clair, Lagon, and Kimberly, it was founded in France, right? Or it's based in France, and you guys are spreading to the United States. I guess describe a little bit about that process, I guess.
Yeah, so thanks for having us on today. The company Clair Lagon was founded in France. We've been operating there for since 2009.
Okay.
We've built over 75 lagoons now throughout the France market, and then also some into the European market. So we decided to come to the U.S. about a year ago and did some market testing for about a year before we went forward with staffing up our team and really going full force. So we are now fully operational here in the States with our installation teams and engineers and ready to bring the product to market.
Yeah. So Kimberly, I thought you would be speaking with a French accent-a-vous. But Ben, this is kind of like a milestone because I know you've done many, many shows with Mike that have an international flavor, but it's been Canada and the U.S. But we're going big time. This is really international. And one of the things that I've learned in our prep, that the word for lagoon in French is Lagon.
That's right.
Yeah. So, we're learning new things every day on the show. We actually had somebody from Sri Lanka on last year, and that was kind of a different show because he was, I don't know how many hours ahead or behind that is, but it was really in the evening for him and like morning for us or vice versa. I forget, but that was kind of interesting.
Either way, it's a different time zone. Kimberly, tell us about your background because I see that you have an extensive landscape background, and adding water to landscape is kind of like the new thing in that career field, right?
Right. Yes. So yes, I've spent 30 years in the landscape industry before joining Clair Lagon. So extensive background in installations, water features, things of that nature. So it was kind of a natural fit. And I'm really excited about, the landscaping aspect of it. The lagoon without the landscaping around it is just, a sand area with some water in it. So bringing those landscaping elements to the lagoon can really enhance the feel of those lagoons. So whether the client's going for a tropical type of feel or a Lake Tahoe or Sahara Desert, the landscape is really what gives it, the different vibe in the different settings.
Yeah, and we're kind of scrolling through some photos of some work you guys have done. So how many projects, I know you're newer to the U.S. North American market, I guess. How many projects have you guys done over here so far, or has the majority been in France, I guess?
Everything's been in France up until this point. We have 3 projects planned right now that will go between now and call it, summer of next year. The majority of that, being in the RV camping world. And then we've got one builder who's looking to bring it to a sustainable community, live, work, and retail type of environment. So our success in France has really been in the RV glamping world. And France went through a little bit of a transition. It's some of what I think that we're seeing here in the States over the years. And so in COVID, a lot of people started, migrating to camping, as we've seen here. But a lot of those campgrounds were really dated, didn't have any new hot amenities. And so the Lagoon has really been able to bring that to the marketplace. And we've seen, going from no one knowing what the lagoons were to now, when our clients go to book reservations, they'll call the resorts and they'll ask whether or not they have a lagoon before booking the reservation. So it's been really interesting to see that transition happen and, see it really take hold there. And it can be in any environment. So whether, you have an existing pool that you want to tie it into, if you want it to be a standalone, it works in either setting.
Yeah. The amazing thing is it doesn't look man-made, it looks natural. And if you're trying to, the big thing today with the resorts is to make it look as natural as possible. But, with these properties that we've seen photo-wise, the reality is a pool is a pool is a pool. It can be, square, it can be rectangular, it can have an L shape to it, et cetera. In the end, it's still a pool. What this allows you to do, it seems, is, with the proper landscaping around it, look like a natural attraction. And, how do you differentiate it from a pool when you're selling it to a campground?
So it's really, we create a natural product. So our product doesn't have any chemicals. We do it with zero chemicals. You have 100% sand basin. So when you step into that lagoon, you truly get the feel of being at the ocean, and feeling that sand between your toes. We have very low energy consumption. So our system is predominantly gravity fed into our filtration system. And the only energy that we're using is for our UV lighting to do a final disinfection on the water. And then we have pumps that will return that water back to the lagoon via a water feature, such as a waterfall. But other than that, we aren't really drawing any energy consumption. Of course, it's a safer environment for the kids with a zero entry, area. So there's no hard surfaces for them to fall on or, around. So that gives it, a safe peace of mind for our parents, to be able to truly sit back and relax and let the kids, run and play and build sandcastles.
Yeah, we're scrolling through the website. We got done with some of the photos earlier, just scrolling through the website. I guess, what's the difference? When I'm looking at this as a park owner, there are a ton of parks in North America that have ponds or even man-made ponds. What would be the difference between something like this and a pond, I guess, like a typical?
So our system, of course, it's really the filtration system. So your man-made ponds, you're not going to have the filtration system that we've built in. So while it looks like, we've dug a hole and threw some water and sand in there, the reality is that there's an extensive filtration system that runs underneath and surrounding the lagoon area, which of course is what we are using to filter the lagoon. So you've got that water that's coming in and turning. We turn water every 6 hours, so you're getting a full turn on that lagoon, 4 times a day.
Kimberly, on that topic of filtration system, when I think of sitting by a pool, whether it be at a campground or at an apartment complex or at a residence, those filtration systems drowned out conversation.
Absolutely.
Do you have that same scenario here, or is it a different process that doesn't seem so intrusive?
It's definitely less intrusive. So our filtration area is all in a separate area, separated from the lagoon. And then we have all of our pumps are underground. So you're really not going to get any noise from the lagoon to be disruptive to your clients.
It also looks a little bit, I think most of the pictures we looked at, it looked like they were pretty shallow bodies of water. I guess, do you create deep lagoons, or are the majority of them shallower, I guess, more shallow?
So we can certainly shallower.
I don't know if that's a word or
certainly
not.
create any depth that the client is looking for. Most of our clients tend to stay around 4 to 5 foot in depth. And when you go to the beach and you look at people playing at the beach, That's the space that people tend to congregate in. So you're
Yeah.
throwing the football, you're throwing the frisbee, you're playing with the kids in that space. And so what we found is most of our clients tend to stay around that depth. But we can certainly go deeper. The only thing that we have to take into consideration is the land space, because we want to maintain a gentle slope going into the lagoon.
I know over here, in North America, water is a huge deal, especially for camping. I think the majority of campgrounds, RV parks, glamping sites have some sort of water feature, whether that's a pool, a pond, I
Yep.
guess they could get a lagoon. I guess, is that the same over in France? I guess, well, is that such a huge piece of the puzzle over there as well, I guess?
Most definitely. So it's really become the centerpiece and the anchor for those RV camping resorts.
Yeah.
We also have a lot in several lagoons that we've installed in theme parks where they have water slides, pools, in addition to the lagoon. And what we found is, a lot of they tend to congregate at the lagoon. So even those other water elements are there and are available for the clients, they tend to congregate around the lagoon.
Mm. Kimberly, as far as cost factors are concerned, certainly the business end of it says, okay, you've got the aesthetics, that's great, but what's it going to cost me to do this? How do you compare your costs to a traditional pool? Because I'm sure that that's what the owners would look for. And I think another important point is you can have a lagoon and a pool. You're not telling people that if you go the route with you that you've got to dig your pool up and start all over again. Cost factor, how do you? And again, I know there's no one price fits all, but how do you
Sure.
work that?
Sure. So, in comparison to a traditional pool, spa, lazy river, etc., we would be right in line with those price points. I had someone who was looking at installing a massive water slide or two massive water slides in his resort park, and the pricing on that was our lagoon actually came in a little bit under what those two large water slides were going to cost. So obviously, a lot of that will depend on the landscaping and the accommodations or shade structures that surround it. So whether the RV park is looking to get rental cabanas, right, to lease out, or they're just looking at the shade structures. Of course, all of those will factor into the cost of the lagoon.
Yep. And those cabanas are ancillary income.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. And with a lagoon, you have something that you can invite your local residents into, right? Whereas with a pool, you may get some people that want to come and get a day pass, but you're not going to see the type of activity as you would with a lagoon, where your local residents, even outside of your campers, are going to want to come and get a day pass and spend the day at the beach, right, with their family. So saves all the hours of travel to a traditional, beach, oceanside beach. And not to mention the expense, right? If they can go 30 minutes down the road and go to a lagoon.
Instead of driving through the summer traffic, et cetera.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Well, we're going to take a break, recognize our sponsor, and then we will be back to talk with Kimberly more here in a minute. Campgrounds of America is the leading brand in camping, known for its 60-plus years of expertise and trusted quality. By joining the KOA family, franchisees benefit from the strong brand recognition, operational excellence, and a proven business model designed to foster growth and success. The flexible franchise options empower owners to achieve their goals while providing an exceptional camping experience for guests. To learn more about joining the KOA family of campgrounds, visit ownakoa.com. Hi, welcome back to WCM's Park Update, and we are talking with Kimberly Jenkins, the CEO of Clair Lagon, about just the lagoons that the company produces. I guess one of the big things we see in the industry now is those recreational amenities, and obviously a lagoon offers the swimming aspect of it. I know a lot of parks are putting like aquatic, like floatable, like obstacles in there. They're doing like canoe and kayak rentals and different things like that. I guess for a park, is a lagoon able to handle some of that stuff? Can you do that in a lagoon? I guess.
You certainly could with the size. We tend to stay away from the water sports element part
Okay.
of the lagoons. So,
Yeah.
we know that there are people out there that are creating those on a massive scale,
Yeah.
but we're really trying to take that, a step down, and not go, offer that from an expense standpoint, and also not only from the initial investment, but the cost to maintain that, right? So, our clientele, are not really looking to have to, that you wouldn't necessarily have the manpower to staff that type of a lagoon. So we're definitely looking to keep that smaller scale, right? Eliminate those sports areas. Now, if you're looking for some, things for the little ones, we have some lagoons that we've designed where we've incorporated a natural playground area off to the side. We have lagoons where we have done volleyball courts next to them and incorporated that. We also have clients that have installed stages, right? So they can have live concerts and entertainment. And then I have a client who wanted a water slide on a much smaller scale than, a large water park water slide. And so we are incorporating that into the water feature. And so they'll have the water feature coming down and then a small slide coming around. So there are some things that we can do to really drive some of those activities. It's just it's going to be different activities than your water sports activities.
Hey, Kim, Ben mentioned swimming, the verb swimming, the action of swimming. When I was poolside this past weekend, we had two of our grandkids up at Bailey's Camping Resort up in Maine. Beautiful, beautiful facility. I noticed many people standing in the water and chatting, but very few people actually swimming, doing laps or anything like that. I'm guessing that your product, your Lagoon product, is more of a relax in the water thing than active swimming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let the kids play, build sandcastles, get you a margarita, nice cool drink, and sit back and relax. So that's definitely, more of the vibe that we are going for, is that, connecting with nature, right? I know for me, right, to connect with nature, it really does something for your soul. And so that's the type of environment and space that we're looking to create, is somewhere where people can go and truly relax and unwind. I don't know about you, but when I take the kids to the water park, it is crazy, right? They get all hyped up going
It's
down those
insane.
slides, and
Yep.
they are just wide open. And so, this allows them to burn off some of that energy, but not quite as, get them as hyped up as what, going down water slides all day long is going to do.
I think one of the
Yep.
cool aspects too of this is that so a lot of the pictures we saw earlier were larger lagoons, but there were also a couple pictures of like really smaller lagoons. So is it possible to even have this as maybe an adults only area with like a bar and stuff nearby as well at parks? I guess.
Certainly, certainly. Having, the private lagoon with even a couple of rentals, next to it, and creating that exclusive space would be really nice. You can definitely create an adults area. We can size those down to where you could really have, a private lagoon, attached to each of your accommodations. So, we can size them down to, what a small traditional pool would be. So it's really eating up very little space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm
So basically, it looks like there's a lot of different design options. They don't have to be the same size. Um, you can work them around the traditional existing landscape, um, and really creativity. I mean, do you provide, as part of the service that you provide? Will you do a spec design for a campground? Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll spec it out. We will, most of our clients, we not only include the lagoon, but the fencing, the foot baths, um, the shade structures, landscaping. So it really is a turnkey package that we're looking to put together. So when we roll off the property, they have everything they need to start operations. Now, of course, those can be more elaborate. Some can be more elaborate than others. So again, a lot of our customers will have rental cabanas, and then others don't want to rental cabanas and want that for a future phase. So we can really work with that budget. So if you say, look, I really want this, and here's my end vision, but I need to break that into phases. That's something that we can help work with customers and accomplish.
And with rental cabanas, you can really zero in on a payback for
Absolutely.
the whole project based upon usage and dollar per hour, or whether it's a full day rental or a half day rental. X number of days. It's obviously down south, it's going to be a lot more because you got more of a season than if it be a New England or a Northwest property. But are you limited geographically in North America with where you can build?
No, in fact, we can build anywhere in North America. We've had several customers ask us about freezing the lagoons in the winter and turning them into an ice skating rink. And I can say that we've never done that, but we have certainly had conversations about how we could accomplish that. So that's a new area that, we would love to explore at some point, and seeing how we could, repurpose those in the winter time and keep that revenue flowing.
Yeah.
And then for our not any customer really, even when you get into that shoulder season and the off season of an RV glamping resort, the lagoons can continue to generate revenue when you look at leasing them out for private events, weddings. Weddings would be a great source of income to help repurpose and help drive additional revenue into the resort.
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting.
Yeah. What's been the reaction? So you've been marketing the product for a little bit in North America. I guess what's been the reaction from people that you've spoken with?
Everybody is stunned by it. So I don't think that I've met anyone who didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. It's nice to be able to speak with someone who they love the product, right? So from that aspect, it's been really easy to have those conversations and really fun to get engaged in the RV glamping community and, meet some great folks. And, everybody loves the product. So we will be exhibiting at the Glamping America show coming up in October. And we're excited to be there and show off the product in person and be able to speak to operators, face to face.
Yeah.
Ben can try it out.
Yeah, I can try.
That's one in Colorado, right?
You need to.
They wouldn't let us build. Funny enough, they wouldn't let us build, but we'll definitely be there with lots of photos and videos.
I'm surprised David wouldn't let you build. I know he's always up for new ideas. So
And get a free lagoon.
Yeah. So, well, is there a way people can get in touch with you? Obviously, we were on your website. I guess what's the best way for people to learn more and get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So our website is www.clairlagon.com. And that will take you to our website. And then, we have a link there to contact us. Phone numbers are listed on there as well. And so that's the best way to get in touch with us.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Kimberly, for coming on the show. And I will be at the glamping show too. I'm doing a panel. So any of the viewers who are at the glamping show, I look forward to seeing everyone there. And I of course, I'll stop by your booth and maybe we can get one of these in my backyard. So I got
that'd be awesome.
I got 12 acres and I know my wife would love it. So, but
it'd be your North American showroom.
Yeah, my North. Yeah.
There you go.
Right? There you go.
Well, thank you again for coming on the show, and thanks everyone for watching. And we will be back again next week.
Thank you for listening to WCM's Park Update, a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine. Join us for a new show each Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn for daily news and updates, and subscribe to our news feed on our website at woodallscm.com.